Greetings, everyone. My name is Stephanie Jens with GPS Dairy Consulting. On my previous blog, I discussed some steps to have more effective conversations with employees. Today, we are going to talk about a different type of challenge on dairy farms: personality conflicts between employees. This type of a conflict in the workplace is often fueled by emotion and perceptions about somebody else's motives and character. I want you to think of a time when you were in conflict with another individual. Oftentimes, there are two types of stories that we can tell ourselves. One story tends to justify to ourselves why we behaved a certain way. The other type of story is one that we tell ourselves about others. This story sometimes causes us to see the worst in others, often labeling them in a negative way. Let's take an example that we might all be familiar with. Let's say someone cuts you off while you're driving. The story we might tell ourselves about the other individual is that they're rude, aggressive, and inconsiderate. Now let's flip that story. Let's say you cut someone off while you're driving. The story we might tell ourselves to justify our own behavior is that we were really in a hurry, and if we didn't make those lights, we were going to be late to our appointment. Sometimes our stories are accurate, but oftentimes they're either inaccurate or completely wrong. The truth tends to be somewhere in between the story we've told ourselves and the actual facts. So how does this really help us with our employees that might be having this type of workplace conflict? So the next time you are faced with what you determine might be a personality conflict between two employees, and it's impacting job performance and potentially team culture, I want you to try walking them through this exercise to sift story from fact. Have each individual sit down with a piece of paper, and on the left-hand side of the paper, have them write down all the stories that they are telling themselves about this other individual. All the feelings, all the thoughts, judgments, labels, conclusions that are running through their head. On the other side of the paper, I want you to have them write down all of the facts that they know. These would be observable, objective, specific actions that they have identified. Now, as they look at the list, they may find that the story they're telling themselves is not really supported by the facts that they know. They may be making assumptions and interpretations about what the other person's behavior might mean. Oftentimes, we don't truly know what the other person's intentions are unless we ask. So this exercise isn't really designed to solve the conflict between the two individuals. Its main purpose is to really help clear out any overheated emotions that each individual may have, so that then you, as the manager, can sit down with each party and have a more productive conversation with less accusation and more curiosity. Because the number one goal in any type of conflict is really to discover the truth. The really neat thing about working through an exercise like this is that it builds a skill for your employees. This is a tool that they can use not only in your workplace, but also at home and in the greater community. Being able to resolve differences and turn them into successful conversations is a skill that all of us could use more of. So in summary, I hope this exercise really helps you to ensure that employees don't overreact to a situation, and that they can open up to the possibility of a healthy discussion rather than just unloading on the other person with all of their emotions. Finally, the last thing it really helps them to do is to sift fact from the stories they might be telling themselves. Hopefully this gives you some ideas on how to deal with personality differences between employees so that you can continue to build a successful team and a profitable business. Until next time, have a great day.